Hello, I wanted to finally, almost a year later, follow up my Silmarillion video with a Hobbit video with a bunch of Hobbit editions. I have 10 here, I think, and pretty much most of the coolest ones here. Let's see, we got, first of all, that's my old paperback. That was the first Hobbit I read when I was a kid, my dad's edition. And then, this one's beat to hell. And it has no, that's great, no illustrations or anything. Gonna need some Scotch tape, actually. That's just a, motion picture version. Also unillustrated. And then this is an old library edition that I have, which is pretty beat up, but I like this weird cover. Besides that, this one's also in pretty rough shape. So let me clear those off. So some of these nicer ones, definitely the Alan Lee oversized edition here. This one's pretty great. It's not only got cool paintings and stuff in here, but it's full of little sketches and stuff. Some of the great Alan Lee versions of things. I'm not the biggest fan of his interpretation of Bilbo, but I can live with it. Besides that, I love his art. There's Smaug. Let's see what else we got. The dwarves preparing for battle here. But yeah, this is a great book. It's oversized, glossy pages, and full of sketches and paintings of Alan Lee. So you can't go wrong with this one. Pretty awesome. And I think I showed this before, but if you take the cover off, it's got that cool dragon right there. And this Alan Lee Hobbit sketchbook is kind of a companion to that, which it's really kind of after the Hobbit movie, but it basically is a book full of his sketches of the paintings that he did and the sketches that he did for the Hobbit book originally. So this is also great to have if you're reading the Alan Lee version and you want to see all his art and all the steps he took with his art here. And this is the Tolkien illustrated edition, which has the cool writing on the thing here, which says what? The Hobbit. There and back again, maybe? Can't read that myself, but I can read the Hobbit part. And, this one's really nice. It has, comes with a good map. I won't open that up, but this has nice versions of all the Tolkien paintings. There's the trolls with the sunlight coming up. And there's also one of the pictures of the fire with the trolls around it. So all the main paintings, which lots of versions of The Hobbit are illustrated by Tolkien, but they don't have all these little sketches and stuff and maps. There's a pretty good one of Bilbo going down the river with the dwarves and the barrels. These are all in most of the good Hobbit versions. There's Tolkien's painting of Smaug. So this is really good. You can get most of the actual Tolkien pictures in a lot of different Hobbit versions. Particularly this, Easton Press has them, but a lot of them have the main paintings that he did for the Hobbit. So it's kind of an illustrated book to begin with, but the illustrated one has extra stuff, so it's a really nice book anyway. This is the Jemima Catlin Hobbit, which has all her illustrations, which are pretty nice. They're definitely more childish, but let's see. They're really kind of nice and colorful. Definitely would be a good one to read with kids. That's a nice painting right there. See if I can find her smog version. There we go. Pretty cool. So this is really nice, actually. It's a nice cloth-bound book and tons of art in it. You know, there's pictures on almost every page. And it's really nice. Bjorn, the eagle, pretty good art. For a simple style, it's pretty cool. Goblin King. Elves. And then we have the Hobbit comic book version. This is our graphic novel. This was, I think, like 4 comic books. And this is not the full Hobbit text. It's obviously abridged into a comic book. But definitely cool if you're a fan of the Hobbit. Not the biggest fan of like that Bilbo on the cover. Doesn't look exactly like the Bilbo in the books. There's the Bilbo in the books. I'm always a little skeptical on people's interpretation of Bilbo, but this is fine. This is pretty cool to look through if you're a Hobbit fan. And it's a quick read if you're wanting a abridged Hobbit. Pretty much has the whole thing, just a little tighter. And then the other 2 nice copies here is the Folio Society Hobbit, which is interesting because it has this green dragon on it, which, if you know, Smog's not green, but, you know, if you want to say that that's supposed to be a correct interpretation, you could say it's the image on the sign of the Green Dragon Inn rather than Smog, and people that think it's Smog just don't know any better. But these are nice. Let's see, this is illustrated by Eric Fraser. It's nice little drawings on the beginning of every chapter. Pretty cool little drawings. And Folio Society is always nice. Folio Society just released that Alan Lee edition, and I actually had one in my cart, but I couldn't drop the $1,000. Couldn't do it. But I had it in my cart, and then they were sold out before I could even think about it very long, so that was good. But this old Folio Society edition, still pretty cool for a little bit of different art. And then the Easton Press edition, probably my favorite edition. It's got the best feel to it. It just looks and feels nice. It's got that velvet. It's got this drawing at the beginning by Michael Haig. And he actually has a whole illustrated Hobbit book that I haven't acquired yet. I haven't been able to find a nice version of it, but I will get that at some point. The rest of this is Tolkien's illustrations, so some of them have this green tint, but a lot of the same illustrations you see in the Tolkien Illustrated Edition. Let's see here. which the two nicest ones I think are, if I can find them, the dragon one. Here's the river one. Let's see that one. That one's great. And then the smog one is the other nice and colorful one, if I can find it real quick. There it is. That was great. So really this has the best Tolkien illustrations anyway, so except for the little sketches. So it actually is the complete package if you just want the nicest book with the Tolkien illustrations. I like this one. I'm actually about to start reading it. I'll look at some of these other ones while I'm doing it. And yeah, can't go wrong with any of these really. And if you can, get all of them. But I'm about to start reading The Hobbit. I just finished Unfinished Tales and had been reading Silmarillion before that. I know, and quick update, I have these over here. On my Silmarillion video, my two favorite Silmarillion editions, the author illustrated edition and the Ted Nasmith edition, I ended up getting the deluxe versions of. And these are both pretty sweet. This deluxe orange Ted Nasmith has all the extra Ted Nasmith illustrations that I was missing in the other big copy. And just a really nice high quality cloth bound book with a slipcase. And the author illustrated Silmarillion is pretty much the same on the inside, but the outside is, you know, black cloth, leather bound. The pages are this silver instead of the writing in the blue, and you know, the rest is pretty much the same, but this ended up being on sale for like $65 and I couldn't pass it up. I really do like the illustrations in this one. The Ted Nasmith one is great. I finished reading Silmarillion, reading that one. And I did end up getting these to go along with it, which I call the Ted Nasmith trilogy, which is Unfinished Tales and Complete Guide to Middle-earth, all in these deluxe editions. Unfinished Tales, there's the blue wizards right there on the cover of it. There's the Nazgul. Unfinished Tales is actually illustrated by Alan Lee, John Howe, and Ted Nasmith, so you get all three of the big illustrators on that one. Doesn't have as many paintings as Silmarillion has, like 50, and there's like 50 more in this Guide to Middle-earth that are all Ted Nasmith. And these are great too. I know there's a lot of versions of this. I think this is the version with the most paintings. They're all Ted Nasmith paintings. And really, if you're a fan of Ted Nasmith, these three books right here are the best way to get a lot of Ted Nasmith. They all are illustrated. That's why I call it the Ted Nasmith trilogy. I did just finish reading Unfinished Tales, and I did read this version. But while I'm here, I'll just show you a couple of quick other ones. Here's the paperback Unfinished Tales. There's the exact same version as this deluxe one, only the cheaper one, which is you know, the best bang for your buck. You can get that for like $20. It's got all the same paintings as this one, and it's really pretty nice too. It has the bookmark ribbon. You know, it's pretty plain, but it has the Alan Lee, I believe, art on the cover. And then there's the one that comes with the new home set, which has the John Howe art, which is the John Howe Olmo art on the cover. But this one's not illustrated at all, but I did get that whole home set. So if you were getting an Unfinished Tales, I would recommend this one right here. But this is the best. Anyway, that's all the Lord of the Rings for today. Hope you enjoyed the Hobbit stuff, and maybe we'll do another one with Lord of the Rings sets. Could be a while again. All right, take care.